you take a photo of us,
I will,
please?
of course.
No, can you get in the photo of us?
Whatever you
We'll
need.
get a photo with everyone.
First, I'm going to get you.
The interview's still going.
All right.
The interview's still going.
Are we keeping the mics on?
Yeah, keep the mics.
Yeah, we need that branding.
MTV.
MTV News.
Here we go. A moment. Nailed it. Any good prom memories this conjures up? Any horrible memories this conjures up?
We call it, in Australia, we call it a formal, and I didn't go to mine. Instead, I had a little rave with a private DJ, which was my sister, but, you know, still.
bougie.
No one's
So-
competing with that.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it sounds like you won
yeah,
that.
I didn't
yeah.
get to go to my prom. But it was
What?
literally almost traumatic because I like missed it just by like an hour or something because I was like filming on Nickelodeon
Since
at
she
the
was
time.
working. She had
Yeah,
jobs.
whatever.
so we were-
I thought it was just because you take 3 hours to get ready.
That's why I specified.
I'll do the
That's why I
next prom.
specified.
I'll get the next one. It's okay, guys.
My after prom was in like a field, and we slept in like sleeping bags in a tent, which
that's a
was
little
not
too
what I
familiar.
expected, but it was pretty.
Dark.
That's the Canadian way, baby.
My high school prom was terrible, but I did a music video and I got to play in a prom and someone ripped my heart out. So that was like literally, so that was kind
That
of
was
cool.
a good video. That
So
was
I
a
tell
really
everyone that
good
was my
video.
actual prom now. It's a metaphor.
Do you call it prom? In the UK, do you call it prom or?
I think we're just trying to be American, you know.
He's trying to acclimate. He's in our world now.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm enveloped. I love it.
Well, I'm looking forward to the prom-themed episode of Vampire Academy. We'll see. Season 2, maybe? I don't know.
Well, you get a little bit of a
Hopefully.
party. You get a
definitely
little
get
bit of
some
a party in the
parties, yeah.
first episode.
Fair enough.
It's glitz and glamour. Seriously, it's
All the way,
amazing.
as you would expect from Vampire Academy. So this is a property obviously the fans have loved for quite some time. Talk to me about when this one comes around, like awareness of the previous movie, the books. Did it come just sort of out of nowhere? Who knew anything about Vampire Academy? Yes,
Kieran.
CC
Big
knew.
fan.
Yeah.
Big fan. I read the books as a kid and loved it and loved the movie. Guilty pleasure. I probably watched it 7 times while we were shooting in Spain. So yeah, like long time fan.
Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere for me. I mean, I was just auditioning and I got the audition for Vampire Academy. And I was like, oh, vampires, like that's fun. But no, I hadn't even heard of the books. I did read them after I booked the role, but
Sure.
no idea.
I have the same story as Daniela, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let her say that.
Ditto. For you, sir?
I got the breakdown. I was like, this looks cool. Did a little bit of research and was like, oh my god, memory unlocked. I went to the cinema to see the film in high school, so I was like, oh, that's cool.
2015.
Yeah, I left school in 2016, so I was in year 10, which was great. And then, yeah, when I got the actual role, I read the book. I read the first few books. I got too carried away,
Yeah.
and I spent a lot of time reading every single quote of Dimitri's on Goodreads, and every time he's ever talked about, it was my little way in.
Amazing. So is it helpful, because you obviously have a lot of different resources in this case, right? When you're doing an adaptation, you've got the books, you've got your showrunner, you've got the scripts. Is that more is better? Is it confusing? Like, where are you turning to for inspiration, or is it kind of all of the
I
above?
think everywhere, really,
Yeah.
right? I think everything brings different things. Obviously, it comes with a bit of a responsibility and a respect to all the previous either adaptations or the books themselves. But then it's also like the passion for our new story. It's kind of like, oh, I can take elements of this and let's find our own.
Yeah, and
sense.
I think also we were pretty aware that we weren't going to follow exactly the same storyline as the books. We kind of asked that pretty
Modern
early.
adaptation.
Yeah,
Kind of,
it was a modern adaptation, but the themes and the characters and
The essence.
yeah, the essence of the characters, the themes that are explored, and like the central plot and the specific like secrets, kind of were the same. So I think definitely the books were super helpful to read them. And
Yeah, I'm of the philosophy consuming as much content as you
Yeah.
can. Like, I've done that for other roles as well, with pre-existing stories and fan bases and stuff. Like, just feed it to me. But other actors, they find it more helpful to not do that and to just read what's on the page and then, you know, build their character and process from that, so they're not influenced by, you know, externally by the books, which is also cool.
Considering you'd seen the film 7 times, maybe that wasn't going to work for
Babe,
you.
7 times during the 7 months in Spain. I don't want to tell you how many times before that.
yeah, I was too scared to watch the
Embarrassing.
film.
Yeah, as Sissy said, like I feel like I am way on that wavelength. Like I was reading the first book after I booked the show, but for me, like watching other actors and watching other interpretations of Christian, I feel like would have really gotten in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
So I wanted to keep like a fresh perspective, but also keep the essence of Christian from the book as well.
How do you think it is kind of, you mentioned kind of modernized, just like, how do you feel it's more current or more, I don't know, what is your take on it that's a little bit different than people saw in maybe the film?
I think the big thing, or one of the big things for us is diversity, and I think that's something that we find really important. We wanted to showcase our world as representative of what the world is today, and I mean, it hasn't flown over my head that I haven't seen a lot of Asian vampires growing up.
Right.
So hopefully, you know, people can see Christian and see, like, maybe I can dress up as a vampire for Halloween this year too, and I think that would make me really happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well said.
Oh, thank you.
Have you guys, okay, so again, I love the movie too, and I covered that movie here at MTV, talked to that cast, they're great.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Shout out to that cast, absolutely. Zoe Deutsch, Danila, all of them, amazing.
So do you know Zoe? Would you want to talk to Zoe? Have you compared notes?
He's absolutely terrified.
Bit
Everyone
of a
loves
fan-
Danilo.
Bit of a fangirl. I don't know how well that would go down. I'd be scared, but
I'd be interested to see what they thought of this.
I'm really
Yeah,
interested
yeah.
a little bit sad no one said anything because I kind of want to make them proud as well.
Yeah.
And,
I often thought about that a lot whilst we were filming, because I know the fans obviously were hungry for the story and they loved their interpretation. And I often thought, oh, I wonder how much they would have loved our script, because our script is so, I mean, just something
Yeah, and
new.
we have way more time to explore
Yeah.
in this world, so
absolutely.
Right.
would have been.
I mean, listen, I'm glad we're doing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, don't give away your
Sorry,
role, man.
Danilo.
Let's talk about some of the relationships, because I mean they're key obviously in this show. I mean, for you, Cece and Danny, like establishing this relationship is a core part of this whole story. Did you guys know each other going in? How do you establish kind of what's going to be conveyed on screen?
No, we didn't know each other. We connected through Zoom on our chemistry read, which was really interesting because obviously how much chemistry could you have through a screen? But I mean, I just think that Julie and Marguerite are really great at what they do, and they obviously knew what they were doing when they cast everyone, and I think it just works. I mean, chemistry is kind of a hard thing to like work on. I think
Right.
you either have it or you don't, and the scripts are so amazing too, and she's just such an amazing actress, so it's like, it's just so easy, you know? And I think that through that, we just, I don't know, it just works. Like, you just have so many hours on set together and you just bond, like.
Yeah, I think our friendship grew as we worked, you know, together as soulmates. Because the girls, that's what they are.
Yeah.
They're soulmates.
Right.
It's, you know, they're kind of in love in a platonic way. And I know we've both had that, particularly with women in our lives. And I'm really glad that we got to show that. And if you're playing best friends, you know, all day, every day, you kind of just like, that closeness happens organically, I guess, which was really, really lovely. And, you know, we've got a little family going on. 'Cause she's the only one that
familia.
speaks Spanish, so in Spain we were like, we don't have anyone else.
I find it always interesting in like vampire themed stories, like the rules, because there are always different rules, and like there's some
Oh, yeah.
commonalities. And Vampire Academy has its own very particular world that has been created.
Yeah.
Why can't all the vampire stories just agree on like can't we all just come together and decide what's going to kill the vampire? Can they go out in sunlight?
One rule for everyone.
And that's what Rochelle Mead did so great with this book. Is
Yeah.
that she was like, okay, here's the generic blueprint of vampires. Let me create a vampire world. This isn't coexistent. Well, it is coexistent, but it's not part of the human world. We're not running away from humans. It was like there's a society, there's races of vampire, there's a hierarchy, and I think that's what we get to do here. Is like we get to explore a world, and it's like these are our rules, and it's governed, I guess.
Right.
I think with that becomes a bit of like a new excitement. With everyone seeing all the other kind of vampire rules.
Yeah, we've
set him
seen
on fire,
sparkling
take his
in the
head off.
sunlight.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I kind of liked that at the time. You know, I've not seen that before.
Oh,
I was
wait,
like-
yeah, we love Twilight.
I mean,
Yeah, and
come
we
on.
definitely
Hey,
have like
respects.
we definitely have like one race of vampires that is kind of like more the traditional vampire, what you think of when you think vampires, with
That's
like
right, yeah.
super scary,
Right.
can't go out in the sun, suck blood.
But then also the other, you know, the good vampires of the society, they're beautiful and they're regal
Yeah.
and they're enticing, and you know, when you in this world, when you get bitten, you get like, you know, an endorphins rush, and it's kind of like an elation, really. Elation, is that a word?
Sexy,
Yeah.
on it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like there's a sexiness to it.
Yeah.
It's almost like whatever, like the people that want vampires to be sexy and cool and elegant will get that.
Right,
The
you
people
get a
that
bit
want
of
them to be
scary.
scary will get
Exactly.
that too.
Yeah,
And we also do a little bit of, magic on the side,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is new to
A little bit
vampires.
of everything.
Yeah.
You also get, I think this is going to popularize shirtless training on tops of castles. Like, this is going to be the new, right,
Best memory
Kieran?
of my entire life. Like, just sat, like, I was still not sat, I was stood on a castle. It was like middle of Spain. It's pretty cold, to be honest. But it was
Nipples
just
out.
like, yeah, nipples out, wax chest, which I regret. Yeah, I was doing Tai Chi on this roof on my own, but that was such a good insight into Dimitri and who he was. Funny story, actually, because when I'd signed to do the job, and we had to wait. Obviously, you're in options to find out if you've got it. And I was like, I really want to play Dimitri. I really want to play Dimitri. I had a couple of things going on in the background, but I just couldn't stop thinking about this guy. And my agent's like, you need to relax. You got a couple of days, let us know. So I was like, right, I'm not looking at anything to do with Dimitri. I'm not watching the movie for the 20th time. I'm not doing anything. And I left it. 3 days later, just couldn't stop. I was bubbling. So I was like, you know what would Dimitri do, Kieran? Allow yourself. So I go on YouTube. I do a Tai Chi video. So I'm doing Tai Chi in my bedroom, thinking this feels kind of like right. I get a phone call from my agent whilst I'm doing Tai Chi. Yo, you're playing Dimitri. I was like, that is so mad, 'cause I'm doing Tai Chi right now. Fast forward 3 weeks, I read the script, and it's like, whoa, I'm doing Tai Chi on a roof. It was like, this is meant to be.
You manifested it.
It was a
made
nice
it
full circle
happen.
moment. Yeah, it was good.
Amazing.